Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next round of sitting. We're just going to start sitting now, and so everyone get in your sitting position. I'll be ringing the bells in a moment. So good to have you here. Everyone's been around the world today with Fugen and Kyonin and Yugen and Shugen and Shingen and Shokai. Now back here. All right, time to start sitting. So. Well, you can, but if you put your, if you keep it in, the most important of this leg should somehow get down. Yeah. You don't want to rest that on the ankle. Okay, like this? That's a half lotus. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, you can also watch me in a second. I'll show you what I do. Change what you're sitting if you want. Because it's a walk sit. Eyes open about 1/3. Put your head too far forward or too stiff. About here. Breathe through your nose. So that your breathing find its own. Let's go. Just put the foot. Can't hit?
Okay. The heater is blowing hot air right into my eyes and it's drying it out. So I wear a contact lens.
Okay.
So, yeah. So,
You can change sheets.
Sorry?
You want to change sheets?
Yes.
To walk. Eyes half closed again, looking down. Every time your breath to the top, take a half step forward. Pull down. Just breathing. Say, there's no place to go. Here is here. Here is here. Okay. You need to treat your contact?
I can do it. Can I do it after the walk?
We have 10 minutes.
Okay.
You have to do it now.
Oh, okay. I will do it now.
You walk around this way?
Okay.
I have a couple of errands to do, so I'll be back.
Oh, thank you.
You need to go to the house, my mother-in-law is.
Okay.
We will now have a little talk with Zazen. I'm going to have a little talk now. Did you sit here this time?
Oh, that's.
I printed out for you what I'm talking about. So, writing from the 13th century. Just sit,
Sit anywhere.
yeah, on the zafu, or just be comfortable.
Okay.
You can sit zazen while I'm talking, or just relax. Either way.
Yeah, I'll listen.
Can you all see and hear me, or am I too much in the shadows? Can you see me enough? I mean, you see me too much as it is. Okay. Let me actually move this a little closer. All right. It's good to have you with us. We're continuing our discussion of writing from the 13th century by a master Eijo called the Treasury of Light. And this light he speaks about, can't say it's a thing. It's like that clarity of mind I told you about, the mirror. But yet when you experience that mirror, and you experience wholeness, and you experience silence, you see that there is something about this whole reality that's more than the pieces. I know it's okay I say you're science. Yes. She does science. A lot of people here in scuba do science. And in your science, you're always analyzing the pieces, seeing how things are put together. Yet, in a lot of Eastern practices, we also say the pieces exist, but don't forget the whole. Our minds are very good in seeing the pieces. You're a piece. I'm a piece. The trees and the mountains and the stars are pieces. But there's something about it that, shall we say, transcends or holds all the pieces. And in a sense, all the pieces, each one shines with the whole. You're a reflection of the whole. I'm a reflection of the whole. Don't forget the whole. When we sit zazen and we stop analyzing, we stop seeing the pieces. Can you all still hear me clearly enough? Okay. When we stop analyzing, judging, cutting the world into pieces, with all our judgments and categories and names and ideas, this whole appears. And we tend not to say it's a thing, because then that makes us forget that it's also us too. You know, it's like human beings tend to think that there's the world and there's me, as if there's only two things. There's me and everything out there that's not. But when you taste this wholeness, you see that one flows into the other. So in this section, when he's talking about this light, he's talking precisely about this wholeness, this clarity, this illumination that somehow shines through beyond all our little divisions. And maybe what I just said will help the beginning make a little more sense here. This is actually way down in this long writing. So we've been talking about it for a couple of days now. At the hour of your birth, Komio, that's the treasury of light, was not in existence. Now that sounds strange. What it kind of means is this. We see that all the things in the world come into existence, go out of existence. Right? Human beings were born, we're here for a while, and we go. The tree is a seed, it grows, someday it falls, it's gone. Right? This wholeness is so whole, so present, it's beyond existence or non-existence. In other words, the word, where did it come from? Where is it going? Does not even apply. So at your birth, you're born, but the Komyo was not in existence. At the hour of your death, it will not disappear. Sometimes people use the vision of the sea, and a wave comes, and a wave goes, but the sea continues. So you can't say when the wave comes, the sea appears. You can't say when the wave disappears, that the sea will vanish. And this sea somehow is so timeless that you can't say it's born or that it, you, the wave, you come, you go, but there's something that continues. Okay. From the point of view of the Buddha state, it does not increase. From the point of view of the senses, it does not diminish. An alternate translation is here. Buddhas do not have more of it. Sentient beings do not have less. It is not more in Buddhas and less in ordinary beings. Buddhas might be those who really, really are at one with this wholeness. Deluded beings, maybe most human beings, us, who cannot see the wholeness. But just because the Buddhas might be more aware of it, might be more living wholly with it, and just because we cannot see it, doesn't mean it's not here. People go through their daily lives feeling that they're born, they're going to die, the world is out there, they're over here, are separate from it. There's good things, bad things, things they want, things they need, things they love, things they hate. That's to be human. But it's also, in a sense, to miss the wholeness beyond any need for lack, any need for more, any need for this is good, this is bad. There's something whole and good and peaceful that transcends all that. That's what Buddhas know. Those of us living in this world tend to only know the pieces, especially the sharp pieces that sting in our lives. How to say, if I said the mind was like a mirror hole, to many of us it looks like a broken mirror shattered into pieces. Some round, but some sharp. The picture is broken all into broken light. When we make the mind pure and clean, that's Buddha mind, the clarity, the luminosity that he's talking about here, the wholeness, the nothing lacking, nothing missing, something transcendent even of coming and going, even of birth and death, according to this. Something that goes on beyond us, something that goes on in us, becomes clear. That's what Buddhists see. So all he's saying here is, even though Buddhists see it, they don't have more of it. Even though sentient beings can't see it, they don't have less. Even though you are born, it's not born. Well, actually, I was like, it's born as you for a while. But there's something about this world. This world has manifested in one phenomenon as you for a while. And then when your time goes, something about this world will continue beyond birth and death. And you scientists someday will figure out what that is. You're trying really hard. Everybody can still hear out there? Okay. If you are deluded, confused, it is not. That's your mind cutting it into pieces. It's not in pieces. It's you that... It's our gift as human beings. We were made to cut the world into pieces. We're analytical beings. We were made to do stuff, to judge. That's good. That's to be human. But even though you are deluded, even though you are thinking in that way or cutting the world into pieces, it is not. It is not lost in confusion, nor is it awakened in enlightenment. When you realize it, it's there. When you don't realize it, it's there. Something whole. Notice I don't say what it is. I mean, many religions, you might put a name on it. God, perhaps Brahma. Many religions would put a name on this. In Buddhism, we tend not to put a name because we think the name limits somehow. Don't want to say it's a god. It's not a man in the sky with a long beard. In Zen, we tend not to say, sometimes we say it's Buddha. But that's, what we really mean to say is, it is some wholeness so whole, don't even waste your time to put a name on it. Okay. Just as when you have illusions or doubts, you cannot ask the right question. When you have Satori, you cannot say so. Satori is awakening. That's hard. Maybe it means something like, when you realize how present and obvious this is, this wholeness, you realize there was nothing to realize. Sometimes we say it's like you looking for you. Yesterday I was saying he's writing about the light. We're always seeing light. It's a little bit like going, where's the light? Where's the light? You're always seeing it. And when you realize that, you realize there was nothing ever hidden. It has no rank, no form, and no name. This is the body of totality of all things. This is Eastern Religions 101. There's something beyond all names, something beyond all categories, something beyond all ideas. Right now I see over there computer, chair, you, me. These names, though, are being created here. This is a labeling machine right between your ears here. That's good. That's one way to see the world. But there's a way to see the world transcendent of names. Transcendent of names. As if computer, chair, you, me just flows and interflows into each other somehow. And that's what they mean. It's beyond name. It's beyond rank, categorizing. It's beyond even form. And yet, if you read these old guys, especially the Zen guys, they will also come back and say, and at the same time, it is precisely name, it is precisely form, it is precisely who you are. We have a saying in Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, before you're enlightened, mountains are just mountains. They're just these things out there. Scuba Mountain, right over there. When you're suddenly awakened to this beyond separate forms and categories, there's no mountain. There's no separate thing with a name out there. Then, when you're truly enlightened, there's even more enlightened than enlightened. That's a bad way to put it, but mountains are mountains again. They come back and you realize that they are just precisely this thing. They are all the reality, the totalness, whatever you want to call it, manifesting as that mountain. Same for you. You might feel like the only thing separate from the rest of the universe, but what you are, in fact, is all the universe manifesting as this phenomena that you are. You might feel there's something lacking about yourself, but yet you are the whole universe manifesting as you too. And in a sense, when your mind is at rest, there's not one hair to change on your head. You may not feel that way about yourself. And in fact, if you have some bad habits, a guy said to me the other day, many times I get a question like this, if I'm a wife-beating alcoholic and you tell me I'm already Buddha with nothing to change, does that mean I can keep drinking and changing and beating my wife? And I said, oh, wait, no, you don't understand. As a wife-beating alcoholic, yes, you're already Buddha, perfect just the way you are. But if you're so filled with anger and division and lack that you need to drink to fill that hole and you need to beat your wife, you're blind to it. Plus you're making this an ugly world. Yes, there's not one thing about you in need of change, but that doesn't mean that maybe you don't have a lot to fix in order to see that fact. Does that kind of make some sense? Because of his anger, because of his feeling of lack, that's why he's beating and drinking, violent. That's also why he's blind to the completeness. You cannot grasp it. You cannot throw it away. It is unattainable. Another way to say that is it's so present, it's not something you can need to reach out and grasp. Although it is unattainable, it penetrates this whole body. From the highest heaven to the deepest hell, all realms are illuminated perfectly. This is wondrous and inconceivably subtle luminosity. Many religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, speak of heavens and hells. In olden days, people believed in these literally, and I don't know, maybe there really are heavens and hells. But when I read something like this, I tend to take it that people create here their own heavens and hells. I see people here who can create love, peace, compassion, goodness, wherever they go. They create a kind of heaven here. They are filled with contentment. They give others comfort and peace. They're kind of in heaven right in this world. There are other people I see who are filled, like we were talking about that person, filled with anger and violence. They hate others. They hate themselves more. They're always dissatisfied, always lacking, always hungry, never content. Just open look at the Hollywood movie stars, with all the money in the world and never seem content. Need to take drugs or something to fill the holes in them. These are people in hell. So that's why it says, from the highest heavens to the deepest hells, all realms are illuminated perfectly. This great totality, this great wholeness is there for those who realize it, and the great, great many people who don't. I'm going to go back. I left something across the room, and I'll be back. There's nothing lacking, but yet I left something over there I got to get because I'm lacking. I'll leave you at that for a moment. That's what I say, maybe at least once a day to folks, is that this practice is a lot about seeing things in seemingly contrary ways at once, both true. People sometimes say, Junno, you're always talking, nothing's lacking, nothing's lacking. What do you mean? I've got lots of stuff lacking. There is war in the world, there's disease, there's poverty we need to cure. What do you mean nothing's lacking? Right now the camera went haywire. Can you guys still hear? Okay, I have to fix that too. See, the camera is lacking right now too. And I say, it's not an either-or proposition. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, there it is. Okay. We see a world with many things lacking. We are incumbent upon ourselves as human beings. We take a vow as bodhisattvas to fix the lack. We take a vow at the end of the day to help the sentient beings. In modern terms, we say, cure the poverty, make peace, not war, find the cure for the disease. Yet at the same time, we also see this realm, nothing lacking. And when you can see the two together as one, mountains are mountains again. There is tremendous lack, things we need to fix about ourselves and about the world. At the same time, just the great, great light that he's talking about, with nothing lacking. I told the story yesterday of how I was sitting in a cathedral in a big city, I think it was New York, I forget. And the light was coming through the stained glass, very sacred church. And I looked down and the light was hitting little dust in the air. You know how that light sometimes hits. And I realized every bit of dust. And this was New York, so it was probably pollution dust. I don't know what kind of dust it is. It wasn't nice dust. I'm sure it was New York, but whatever the dust was, the light was hitting it. That was sacred too. The grain on the wood where I was sitting, suddenly the light showed it was sacred. There was an old woman sitting across the church. She was sacred somehow. I went back out the door into the city that a few minutes before I had been in, and it was noisy with taxis and buses, a homeless fellow sitting there. Before I had gone in, it was just the chaos of the city. When I came out, and this light, somehow, even the taxis were somehow singing some beautiful song. The homeless man was sitting there as beautiful as any manifestation of the greatest mountain or star. Everything was whole. Wonderful. Yet, I think we also have to fix homelessness. We also have to clean up our cities. Both are true. Okay? Let me see. This is the paper I went to get. Let me see how long I'm supposed to blather here. I'll stop in a minute. I'm going to finish this a little later. I'll just go a little more. Moment by moment, do not consider anything according to your subjective thoughts. 24 hours a day, you should be as calm and supremely tranquil as the dead. I don't like this expression, particularly, as the dead. I am going to assume that that's not. I'm trying to imagine. There must be some better way to translate whatever he was saying. But the point is to be calm and supremely tranquil. Do not get caught in subjective thoughts. That's why we sit. Doing what I told you is to sit calm, sit completely tranquil, sit as if filled with this light, because you are. Do not get caught in subjective thoughts. This is our art of Shikataza. Thus, from breath to breath, your profound nature, like your sensory nature, I think he's saying your true inner nature plus the nature that you analyze and see with your brain and senses, will unconsciously, naturally become non-knowing, non-understanding. I'll talk about what that is as my last thing here. From that point, everything can naturally become calm. The radiance of the treasury of light in the unity of body and mind. First off, when they say the unity of body and mind, they don't just mean this body and mind. They kind of mean your body, that is everything, your mind, which is everything. In Eastern religions, you know, inside and outside is not so clear. We like to think it is me and the rest of the world. But in this case, when you reach this calmness, this unity that's so whole, there's such a unity of body and mind that it's kind of saying, I don't stop here. And it doesn't stop right at my skin. It flows into me. I flow into everything. The stars, the materials, everything is just who I am, and I am that. Okay, what is non-knowing, non-understanding? Usually in our way, we don't say not knowing, not understanding. When you silence the thoughts and judgments and categorization, there's a kind of knowing that comes beyond thinking or not thinking. There's a kind of understanding that comes beyond our usual rational, philosophical way of thinking. Maybe I bit off more than I can chew here. Let me just say this. When you're in love, when you look at a flower, when a mother looks at her child, is it a philosophical question? No. It's a reality that's experienced beyond rational thought. There's something real there. This wholeness, this light I'm talking about, is a kind of understanding, a kind of knowing beyond our usual analytical, philosophical knowing that you would get in books. It's kind of a feeling. You know, when you listen to music, good music, Mozart or whatever you're into, doesn't matter, whatever kind of music you're into. You know the music, you understand it by how you feel it. It's not an intellectual, philosophical process. Well, when you feel this wholeness, when you know this light of the world, it's the same. You feel it like music. You see it like when you're looking at a mountain beautiful and you just see it and understand when a flower is held up and you just know. I think that's enough for now. Okay. Let me see if this was the. Okay. We're just going to walk some Kinhin now, and then we will return to Zazen. Was that okay? Okay. dozen. will now have a little rest. Okay, everybody. Michael, get some rest. Past your bedtime. See you guys later.